G'day, Jinx here, and welcome to my next tutorial for Doom Builder. This one is on death exits. So a death exit, as you know, is when you walk over a line or you press a button and the level ends, but it also kills you. You get the red death screen, and then you appear at the next level with nothing but your pistol. It's a way of enforcing pistol start in a kind of nice visual way. And there's many ways to do it. I'm going to show you a few using MBF21, also compatible with Boom. And I'm also going to show you two that are compatible with vanilla that do not require, neither of them require actual map info headers and stuff like that. So let's get straight into it. I waffled on a bit last time, so let's try and be a little bit more concise. So I'm just going to start a new level, and I'm just going to make it MBF21 because that's the map format that I work in. And I'm just going to make a very simple box. And in this box, I'm going to draw a 64 by 64 flat, and I'm just going to give that the texture of a, how about this thing? Boom. Now what I'm doing here is the Boom format or the MBF21 format. I'm not really sure. The MBF21 format definitely, probably Boom. I think it's a legacy from Boom. Actually has a sector value under generalize that will do death exits for you. So you just click generalize effects, you go to damage, death exit normal or death exit secret, and that is literally all you have to do. So now I hit play, meow, boom. That's it. I'm in the next level. That simple. The problem is with this system, let's try and make my map a bit smaller. The problem with the generalized sector thing is that sectors cannot be activated by Voodoo dolls. So you can't scroll a Voodoo doll into one of these sectors and have it activate. It's the same reason you can't do fake secrets without changing the floor where the player is. And there is a way, then that means that you are only limited to walking into a sector with this method. And that's why a lot of death exit WODs that use this method sort of have these sort of tunnels that go off into the distance away from the level and get darker and darker and darker. You go down the tunnel, you walk over the exit, boom, you're done. Very, very quick, very, very easy to do. You saw it took seconds to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to show a way of doing death exits that can be assigned to switches as well using a Voodoo closet. And I just want to thank a guy, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. I think it's called murmuu. He's the one who taught me how to do this on Discord, and he's very knowledgeable. And this is basically his methodology, this Voodoo closet. Okay, so we're just going to come down here and we're just going to draw a little box here for our Voodoo closet, and we're going to put in two guys. Now, the way this closet works is that we are going to activate both these guys. So on the same tick, one of the Voodoo dolls goes across an exit line and the other Voodoo doll teleports, killing with a TeleFrag the exiting Voodoo doll. And that's how we're going to get the same effect. And it's very, very simple to do. We've almost finished, basically. All we need to do is we're going to place the teleport destination on top of the top one. And then I'm just going to come down here and do a LineDef like so. Now, when you're drawing this LineDef, you can draw it right through the middle like I've done here. Basically, you want the LineDef to align to the back of his thigh. This is as far into, inverted commas, the thing it can be and still activate. So what this means is it only needs to go a tiny little bit and it's going to activate. If we drew the line out here, he would have to scroll all the way to where that line is, right? But we don't have to actually do that. Let me just quickly save this as a temporary so we don't keep getting that error message as it tries to autosave. So once we do that, we're just going to get this LineDef and we're going to split it twice. And an easy way to split a LineDef is actually to use the curve tool. So you hold down Shift and you can change how many vertexes it's going to place, and you can just hold down Control and change the curve value. So we want it to be flat, and we want to put in 2 vertexes like so. Okay. And then we're just going to go line and select the middle line and delete it. Then we're just going to grab this guy and put it down here, grab this guy, put it up here, and we have 2 lines in the exact same position, nice and neat. One of them, the top one, where the teleporter is, we're going to right click that. We're going to go into the browse action, and we're just going to put exit. And we're going to select walk over once, exit. And you can also go to the secret level, but we're going to do just normal exit. And in the other one, we're going to do teleport. So we want to go teleport, walk over once, teleport. It's 39. Bam. Okay. And we need to tag our sector. So just right click the sector, go new, give it a tag of 1. And then in the LineDef, we just need to tell the LineDef that it is teleporting to tag 1. The box, and make it nice and small, like so. Yonk. Okay, so that is our teleport closet. Very, very simple. Now, let's draw another box over here. And this one, I'll make into gray star. Now, this is where the magic happens. So you'll notice I haven't got any raising doors or raising floors or anything like that in this teleport closet. And that is because when you are doing, there's many ways that you can activate scrolling floors and move voodoo dolls around. One of the ones that I like to do is, which is fairly new to me, is actually having the scrolling effect start as soon as it detects a change in height of the ceiling. And what that means is you can activate the floor without having any extra geometry inside your voodoo closet. And I'll show you that now. For starters, let me just, I actually forgot to put this in. So let me just grab this guy, just move this out of section. We're going to select the bottom LineDef this time. And the reason for that is, and I'm not quite sure, but I think it's because it's activating off the ceiling and not the floor. So if you remember in my last video, I said, if you do the top one, it goes left to right. Well, with this particular LineDef we're going to do, it'll go right to left. So you've got to select the bottom one. We're going to go LineDef split. And I'm just going to make sure that this LineDef is 32. Because remember, there is a bug in GZ Doom where if you don't use LineDefs that are a multiple of 32, the scrolling speed is going to be different. So to keep consistency between different ports, always make sure your scrolling things are 32 length. And now we're going to click on this LineDef. And we're going to do a scroll. And we're going to type in scroll move. And we're going to do 247, scroll move things when sector changes height. Okay. And we're going to tag that to the same tag. And what this means is that floor is not going to be scrolling those voodoo dolls, but as soon as the height changes, it doesn't have to completely change. It just has to start changing. It'll instantly start scrolling and everything will go off. So now we come over here to these LineDefs. We select them. Right click them, and we're going to go for our action. What is it? It's ceiling. Ceiling lower, floor fast, walk over 1. So 145, walk over once, ceiling lower to floor fast. Bam. And that is also going to tag 1. So these are all going to make the ceiling lower in here, and as soon as it lowers, it's going to start moving. And that should be all we need to do, if I've done it correctly. Let's hope, cross fingers. Oops. You know what I do need to do though, is redo the thing, because the last placed thing is where you actually spawn. And now, boom, it's a walkover line, but it's done using a voodoo closet, not through the sector. And that means that we can now, if I just quickly make a switch. So I've got a switch here. Just make sure I flip that vertex around. And we're going to send it to tag 1. And this time we're going to go S1, ceiling lower to floor. Bam. And now we can play this. And I can use the switch. Boom. And what is also very, very good, because it's happening all in the same frame, I can, even if you're doing the hold down thing, it'll still work. This is the bit that had me really stumped, that murmuu fixed up for me, is how to, because sometimes there was a bug where basically you can sometimes press it and it'll actually restart the level. So that's that. That's those two methods. Right, so now I'm going to show you two methods that work inside vanilla. You can use the methods I just explained in any Boom compatible map, but they won't work in vanilla, mainly because vanilla does not have the sector effect that will do the exit, nor does it have scrolling floors that can move things, which means you've got to do it another way. So I'm just going to start a new map, and this time I'm going to select Doom 2. For like vanilla Doom, okay? And I'm just gonna make a little box like before, and I'm just gonna make another box 64 by 64, and I'll give that a little skull. I mean, you know, pentagram or whatever. And now we're gonna make the actual Voodoo closet. Very, very simple. So we're just going to make a little box like this, get a thing, place it inside, and get another thing. And we're going to make this a barrel. Just going to dip it down so I can get more exact. We'll put it like this. And then all I need to do is just shrink this. Meow. Right, so now that I've got the setup, I'm just going to draw a LineDef straight down here. So, and then I'm going to move it once again. So it's sort of on the thigh there, next to the thigh, just here. That means that he only needs to move forward a little bit for this to trigger. So the way this works is that we're going to explode that barrel, and the force of that barrel's explosion is going to push the corpse over the exit LineDef. So we're going to set this to an exit. Exit, we're going to make it walk over once, exit level. And that is basically the setup. It's done. So this guy's going to explode and push him over. So to do that, we're going to make a little, just make it an 8-8. You can make it any size really. Just stick that over him. Now, if you look at the things, the barrel thing is 32 high. So we're going to make this sector have a ceiling of 32. So it's basically right on the top of the barrel. So if I look in here, you can see that it's basically just a little tiny room with a big pillar just sitting on top of the barrel, right? And now I'm just going to tag this, and that's now tag 1. Meanwhile, over here, we're going to select all these. We're going to click on it. We're going to make it affect tag 1. And then we're going to search for crush. And what we're looking for is 56. Walk over once. Floor raises to 8 below lowest ceiling and it crushes. Okay, bam, that's all we need to do. So what's going to happen is when we walk over that LineDef, it will crush this barrel, which will explode and kill the player and then push him over that line. Now, there can be issues if you have 200 armor, and I'll show you in a sec. So basically, let's just run the test. Oops, helps if I remember you've got to place an actual player to spawn. Okay. Let me just turn off the sound. Right, so I walk over, boom, and I'm out, and everything's fine. So that's working perfectly. That's fine. Let's just put a thing down here. We'll put blue armor here. Put blue armor here, and I'll put a soul sphere. So now I've got blue armor and I'm 200 health, and it will still kill me in one go. So one barrel is all you need. But if you are really worried about it being, you know, maybe you're worried that one barrel is not going to be enough, you can just make it a double barrel, and that'll be absolutely plenty. So you just go thing, just do that, and barrel like so. And all you need to do then is just make a second sector. Again, you have to make it the height of 32 and give it the same tag of 1. And now we are absolutely never gonna not die because we have 2 barrels exploding right next to us. And that is a death exit done in vanilla very, very easily. So I've just made a very simple switch. And of course, because this is a switch, because this is a doll situation, we can actually do, I'm just going to flip that normal. We can actually do the exact same thing. So we're looking for crush, and we're looking for S1 floor raise to 8 below ceiling height crushes, which is 55, and tag it to 1. And then all we need to do, let me just save this so the autosave doesn't keep making a big annoying noise. And now, boom, we have another one. Very, very, very simple. Now there is one other kind of cool thing you can do, which is a little bit more of a setup, but it has some nice aspects. And basically it's using the Romero head, the icon of sin head. So basically, if I just draw another box here, make this one a bit larger, and I'll put in a head. So make a thing. We're looking for monsters, and we're looking for the icon of sin, like so. And then we're just going to put barrels around it. And we're going to do this the exact same way. So the way this works is the icon of sin, it explodes, and when he dies, it lets out this scream that can be heard all throughout the level, which is kind of a cool effect, and you go to the next level. The difference between these two methods is, with this method here, you can change the LineDef to send you the secret level, but the Romero head will always just send you to the next level. So what we're going to do, we'll just draw in the crushes. I'm making them 8 by 8, but you can make them smaller. Select all the crushes. We want to make the ceiling height 32. And we want to give them a new tag. In this case, it'll be 2. Okay. And I'll just give them all a LineDef. So it's basically the exact same setup, except we're sort of all crowded around the head there. And that should be enough barrels to kill him. And it's the exact same LineDef effect. Okay, so for the walkover one, it's 56. Floor raises to 8 below lowest ceiling crushes. And for the trigger, it is 55, which is just the switch version of the same thing, except now we want to make sure it's tagging 2 instead of 1. And that is that. So I'll just get my power-ups. I'll come over here and boom. Now you'll note that that wasn't instant and you didn't get the blood curtain. And that's because it's a little bit different in the way it functions. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn sounds on so you can hear what's actually happening. And there's going to be a couple of things you'll hear. A big scream, and then death. Okay. Now, obviously, you don't want to hear those barrels exploding, and all you got to do to get rid of the barrels is just move them away from your main map, like over there somewhere. And now, when we do it, we will not hear this. But you still hear the scream. And just depending on what effect you want and how you want it to do it, you know, you might want to use the head method. But they're basically two very simple methods and very simple voodoo closets that you can do using barrels to kill the dummy or using barrels to kill the icon of sin head. And that's it. And they are the 4 methods, or the 5 methods, beg your pardon, that I'm basically going to do in this video. Personally, I think the best method, because I do MBF21, is this little one here. It works a treat, and I like it because it's absolutely 100% instant. Yeah, boom, just straight up. It's awesome. And there's no sound, and it has the red blood. But it's not able to be done in vanilla. That's that. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you guys next time.